When it comes to relationships, a genuine connection is everything. Only when we're with people who get us, like really get us, can we be our true selves. So, find a better connection with eHarmony, the dating app that helps you be more true to yourself. eHarmony gets to know you better so they can match you better with people who will really get you. Make a genuine connection. Take eHarmony's compatibility quiz today and get someone who gets you.
On today's Smart 7, Scotland has a new leader, Legolas heads to Kyiv and lots more. It's Tuesday the 28th of March, it's National Black Forest Cake Day, and happy birthday Lady Gaga.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Hamza Yusuf, 26,032. This represents 52.1% of the final vote. I therefore declare Hamza Yusuf duly elected as the Scottish National Party leader.
That's the moment Hamza Yousaf was elected as the new leader of the SNP. He'll become the first person from a non-white background, the first Muslim and the youngest person to serve as First Minister of Scotland when formalities are completed on Tuesday. The 37-year-old says he feels like the luckiest man in the world. In his acceptance speech, he paid tribute to his grandparents who immigrated to Scotland from the Punjab.
They could not have imagined that 2 generations later that their grandson would one day be on the cusp of being Scotland's First Minister. We should all take pride in the fact that today we have sent a clear message that your colour of skin or indeed your faith is not a barrier to leading the country that we all call home.
Nicola Sturgeon believes he'll be an outstanding leader, but not everyone's happy with the result. Scottish Conservatives leader Douglas Ross congratulated Yousaf, but is concerned he's got his priorities wrong when it comes to independence.
He wants to be first activist for the independence movement, so he is going to be focused, as Nicola Sturgeon was, every day trying to separate our country and divide us all over again.
The Children's Commissioner says she's deeply concerned about a report which found nearly 3,000 kids, some as young as 8, have been strip-searched by police in England and Wales over 4 years. And it's 6 times more likely to happen to black children. The report was ordered after a case came to light last March where a 15-year-old girl was strip-searched by police whilst on her period. Dame Rachel D'Souza says it's often happening without an appropriate adult present and in unsuitable locations.
I've found lots of cases of strip searches in the back of police vans, in schools. I thought childcare was a one-off, but it's not.
The Policing Minister Chris Phillips says it's concerning, especially as many of those children might also be gang victims. He told Sky's Kay Burley the regulations around strip and search need to be looked at and complied with.
On average, there are about 2 of these strip searches a day, so we're not talking about huge numbers.
Doesn't matter.
But of course, that's right. But we do need to make sure they're being done according to the rules.
At the age of 17, James Watkins was stopped on his way to his friend's house and strip searched in the back of a police van. On Good Morning Britain, he described that experience.
Humiliating, I felt violated, extremely frustrated because there was nothing I could do about it. And the reality was I was in the back of the van with 6 or 7 officers, so you can imagine how tight the space was with them pulling down my trousers and, looking in places that made me feel very uncomfortable.
Orlando Blooms praised the strength of the Ukrainian people during a trip to the war-torn country. In a video on Instagram, the British actor who's a UNICEF Goodwill ambassador is seen meeting President Volodymyr Zelensky. He described the country's residents as awe-inspiring, and Zelensky's also got the backing of Bloom's mum.
My mother sang the Ukrainian national anthem. She says, if you see Zelensky, you tell him to win.
It was a busy day for Zelensky, who also met with the International Atomic Energy Agency chief Rafael Grossi during a visit close to the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. They discussed the tense situation at the plant, just one power line supplying it with enough electricity to prevent a reactor meltdown, and Zelensky says it poses a massive threat.
Holding a nuclear power plant hostage for more than a year is the worst thing that could happen in the history of the European and global nuclear energy sector. The longer the Russian occupation of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant continues, the greater will be the threat to the security of Ukraine, the whole of Europe, and the world.
Controversial judicial reforms which sparked widespread protests across Israel are being delayed by the Prime Minister. Flights have been grounded and supermarkets shut during nationwide strikes, which saw police resort to using water cannons and stun grenades. It's understood Benjamin Netanyahu's overhaul, which would give ministers power to appoint judges, won't now be discussed in Parliament until next month. Critics say the PM's plans will weaken the power of the country's Supreme Court. In a national TV address, Netanyahu condemned the demonstrators.
There is one minority that is willing to tear this country into pieces. It behaves with violence, ignites fires, threatens to hurt politicians, inflames civil war, and calls for refusal, which is a terrible crime.
Still to come on the Smart 7, France takes victory in Dublin and Diane Morgan chats Philomena Kunk. Right after this.
When it comes to relationships, a genuine connection is everything. Only when we're with people who get us, like really get us, can we be our true selves. So, find a better connection with eHarmony, the dating app that helps you be more true to yourself. eHarmony gets to know you better, so they can match you better with people who will really get you. Make a genuine connection. Take eHarmony's compatibility quiz today and get someone who gets you.
Welcome back. Monday night saw the Republic of Ireland start their Euro 2024 qualifying game by playing hosts to World Cup runners-up France in Dublin. Stephen Kenny's men faced a French team packed with talent, including Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann and Olivier Giroud, but they fought hard and managed to keep the world's number 3 ranked side to a 1-0 scoreline. That sees France with 2 wins from 2 and well on the way to qualifying, while Ireland captain Everton's Seamus Coleman was pleased with the performance but disappointed with the result.
Yeah, I thought we performed well, obviously very disappointing. I thought the whole atmosphere tonight, the crowds, as always, were magnificent, and started a campaign and we felt good. And listen, France, to be fair, we're holding on at the end, but listen, you get no points for that. We played well, which is a positive, but unfortunately no points.
Afterlife star Diane Morgan says she hates history, calling it boring, in an interview on Late Night on NBC. The British actress is best known for playing spoof investigator Philomena Kunk, who she debuted on comedy series Charlie Brooker's Weekly Wipe. Her latest super funny mockumentary, Kunk on Earth, is streaming on Netflix, and she told Seth Meyers it was handy a character also had to come across as disinterested.
They wanted like a posh character, and I'm not posh. And so I went into the audition for Philomena, did my best posh, but I knew that it would be just better in my own accent because it's so flat and depressing. Yeah. It just adds something.
Hugh Grant, Regé-Jean Page, Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine star in the slightly weird fantasy heist comedy Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which centres on a quest to retrieve a lost relic. Having started off as a tabletop role-playing game in the 70s, Dungeons & Dragons was then adapted for a video game series and several different movies. The latest blockbuster's been getting pretty good reviews and it looks like a fun Friday night out.
The most Chris Pine a Chris Pine performance has been in a long time.
Just because that sentence is symmetrical doesn't make it not nonsense.
A crowd pleaser that actually pleases.
It's a gift for every one of you. All right, take me down. This is absurdly high. It's not what we discussed.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.